we'll look at a couple of our stunts right here that we run at Auburn High. And what you've got in front of you are just a 5-man pressure, all right, where we're sending an outside linebacker off the edge or through his inside gap. All right. So our right linebacker, if we want to send him off the edge, it's any word that starts with the R. Our left linebacker, if we want to send him, it's any word that starts with the L. Rain, lightning, rip, Liz, ram, line, anything, right? We send those guys off the edge that way, okay? And then if we want to send them underneath, we just add an X call to that. Rain X, lightning X, rip X, Liz X. And those guys know what that means, all right? And everybody knows what that means. Everybody on our defense does. But it's still important that they communicate that. So if that linebacker gets that call, he's got to communicate that to the defensive lineman that's in front of him so that he will know what his responsibility is. If it's an X call, that defensive lineman is going to stay outside. If it's not an X call, he's coming underneath. So let's look at this graph. I mean, this picture, excuse me, over here on the left, this lightning, or we're sending our left linebacker off the edge. So we have a couple different ways we'll do this. All right. Couple of different techniques tied to this blitz, this stunt. And I'm going to show you just one right now. All right. What we call it our hips technique. Okay. So, and this is one of the ways we use it, like I said. So let's say we got lightning X right here. All right. This guy knows he's coming off the edge. He's going to creep up. He's going to give he's going to communicate it. Hey, lightning, 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 or Liz, whatever. That's going to tell this guy to go under. All right. So the guy that's going under, we tell him he's chasing the football. All right. Wherever the ball goes, he's getting in that gap. All right. Getting upfield, finding the ball, getting flat and running it down. He's the chaser. So if they were to run zone, all right, the end coming under is going to chase the football. So the hips technique, the guy that's coming off the edge, in this case, the lightning, all right, he's coming off the edge. His eyes are on the near hip. All right. So right here, he's got the back to his side. So as he comes off the edge, he's reading. And we have to rep this. You have to rep running and reading, at the same time. It's not going to be natural to them, but you have to rep it, and he's reading that hip. So if the hip goes away from him, he's not going to chase that hip. The chaser is going to chase that hip. All right. So what that guy that's playing the hips technique does is when his hip goes away, he tackles the next thing coming back. So he would be a quarterback player on the zone. And they have to know that if they've got the back to them and they're coming off the edge, when that back goes away, they're not going to chase. The chaser is, all right, they're going to redirect, and they're going to tackle the quarterback on the zone. If the hips were to come to him, peel outside, all right, excuse me. If they were to come to him and peel outside, then he's going to peel with it, right? If the hips went back in the box and nothing's coming back, then he can fold. So he's just doing what that hip tells him. If it peels, he peels. If it goes away, he tackles what's coming back. If it goes back in the box and there's nothing coming, he folds and makes the tackle. And the chaser always chases. All right. And so if we want to go same side, we want to go lightning X or Liz X or lion X. All right. Then the linebacker, the lightning is coming under. He's the chaser. The defensive end is now playing the hips. Right. So he would read the hips of the back. And if the back peeled, he's picking it up. If the back goes away, all right, he's tackling what's coming back. If the hips go inside and nothing comes back, he falls back inside and makes the tackle. All right, so that's one technique that we assign to those blitzes there that we're sending off the edge. Okay, it's a hips technique. And where we came up with that, to be honest with you, I've made mistakes in the past where I would send a guy off the edge and there was zero technique tied to the blitz and the ball would get outside of him and I would freak out and think, I put you right on the play, man. You didn't make the tackle. Well, there was no technique for him to play. There was nowhere for him to put his eyes. That was my fault, right? And so we heard something like this at a clinic several years ago and decided to put that in and use it with our edge pressures. And we don't use this technique all the time. All right. We have two other techniques that we'll tie to this blitz and we'll run them all in a game. All right. But this is kind of our base technique to our stunts. All right. And that tells you a little more about it right there in terms of the hips technique and the chase technique and what those guys are responsible for. And we rep this a bunch. We rep it every day. All right. Because believe it or not, high school kid will get out there and forget which one he is. So you have to rep it. And it's not something that's too expensive to rep. And it's important to us All right. We want it tied to this stunt package that we use. We like this technique. It scaffolds and builds off of our other techniques that we use. All right. And it's fairly easy if you rep it a good bit. So we spend a good bit of time on it. All right. Now we'll jump into it, and I'm going to show you some game film on our edge pressures right here, our stunts. All right. So I'm sorry. Let me cut this off right here. All right, we'll pull this up. So we'll watch more of the tight copy, and you can see my guy right here. This is going to be our pressure. So we've got a rain X. All right. So this right linebacker's coming under. All right. He's the chaser. This defensive end's coming off the edge. He should be playing the hips technique. Right. We'll go slow-mo. All right. They're going to go zone. All right. They're going to go zone. They're in pistol. They go zone. So the linebacker coming under, all right, he's getting blocked. He's the chaser. He's got to tackle the back. This guy right here cannot go tackle the back. He does. He does it wrong. All right, watch him. He's the hips technique. What should he do right now? He should redirect and tackle the quarterback and let these dudes tackle the back. They're the back players, right? He is the quarterback player. So he's got to sink his hips down and redirect to the quarterback. He does not do that, all right? And so the quarterback is free now, okay? Now, we come back. He hustles his tail off. He gets over there and makes the play. And that's where an effort-based defense that we've talked about before, all right, comes into play right here, okay? So that play didn't work out for it. We didn't play the technique right, but it did work out for us, okay? So here we go again. All right, we've got a lion call right here, all right? The left linebacker is coming off the edge, so he should play the hips. The defensive end is coming under. He's the chaser, all right? So the linebacker coming off the edge, excuse me, has got the back set to him. So he's got to know right now that it's a possibility that they're going to run zone. And, you know, that's a game plan deal. You play people that are heavy zone teams. So that's something that you should rep if you want to use this stunt. But he's coming off the edge right here. So he's got to gear his hips down. Boom, look at him. Beautiful hips technique right there. He's broke down. All right. If the quarterback has the ball right here, he's in position to make a tackle. All these other guys can handle the back and make the tackle on the back right here. So that's a really good job right there of the hips technique. All right. Even though the quarterback didn't have the football, you can't let those guys just fall asleep, because you know as well as I do, the first time they fall asleep, the quarterback pulls it, hits his head on the goalpost, and we all get fired. All right. So you cannot do that right here. So up top, we've got the same call. I really like the end zone copy of this one. So we're going to get to that, but I'll let you show. So we got the lightning call. So he's coming off the edge, playing hips, the chaser coming under. All right. It's a pass. And this is what I was talking about earlier. We don't get the pressure, but we get the interception. Right. So watch the call right here. All right. Watch it up top again over here. We got our lightning call. All right. So the end is coming under. He's chasing. All right. The linebacker's coming off the edge. He's playing the hips technique. They repass as they come. So now they're just going to rush quarterback. Right. That's it. Just turns into a rush right here. And so we ran that to our three technique side right here. All right. So the three is going to come under. He's going to come under. He comes off the edge. All right. All three of them get free on the quarterback. All right. And get him off the spot, get him a quick throw. He watch the quarterback throw. He just kind of throws it off his back foot, fades away. Bad ball. We get the pick right here. So maybe you're getting some kind of idea off the technique. I'll show you a couple more right here. We're coming off the edge at the top. Number 20, defensive end. He's the chaser. 16, backer coming off the edge. All right. We'll go slow-mo. Boom. So 20 is coming underneath. All right. The tackle block to him. So he's just playing hat and hands, keeping his head in his gap. He's not going to cross face. All right. He's a C gap player right there. All right. He's got a tight end. He's a B gap player. There's no tight end. So he slants hard into B gap. Boom. Hat in hands, keeps his hat in his gap. You can see 16's coming off the edge. Guy blocked out on him. So he's doing the same thing, playing hat in hands, playing leverage, keeping the ball inside and in front, making it cut off of that pressure back to our pursuit. So that's what it looks like when you get action to you, when you get blockers to you.